Look out there on the pond. It's the William Clay Ford, brought back to life, sailing happily along, and fairly calm seas. You ever looked at one of these and said to yourself, I wonder what it would be like to be aboard the William Clay Ford again, sailing on that little boat? If I could shrink myself down and have a view from on board. Well, we can do that. Here you are, on board the William Clay Ford. It's kind of a fun view. Sailing along the pond happily. Maybe heading for that inlet. What does it sound like? Sounds like this. One of the things I noticed is you can't hear the servos. Usually that's the loudest thing on these boats, but for some reason you cannot hear the servos in this video. There I am, controlling the William Clay Ford. I was going to go through the inlet, but what you can't see here is that the wind had picked up and a dead swell was coming through that inlet. I didn't want to chance it. Yes, indeed, folks, this is not CGI. You are actually aboard the boat. So as we spin around what looks like dead calm, just beyond that inlet, it is not. So the question that you may have is, how did I do that? How did I get this video? Well, the answer resides not in model boats or model trains. It resides in model rockets. The secret is this little tiny video camera. It's great resolution. It's a USB plug direct in and download to your computer after you've shot the video. And it came from here. The Astrocam by Estes. The rocket itself cost about $54 and comes with the camera. Frankly, the camera itself is worth $54 to $56 to $60, whatever they're charging for the whole kit. I personally will just shoot the rocket somewhere else. Notice that it's not a high-class kit. This is one of those buy it and fly it kits. If you notice here, they actually have the camera itself secured with a rubber band. Yeah, that'll be good for 2 or 3 flights. Picture the camera now dropping away from 900 feet of altitude and you having to search the field to find the bloody thing. Probably get rid of the rocket and just keep the camera. What I did is I built this little cradle in order to hold the camera onto one of my boats. I picked the William Clay Ford. Notice here there's a magnet, very strong magnet. And likewise, one is glued on the camera. I did that. So now, the camera fits in the cradle, and it will not come out. Now, I had to affix the camera onto the deck. So, I used magnets. These are very powerful little magnets. You get them right off Amazon. They're really inexpensive. And I also have magnets that are buried inside the hatch combings on the Ford. You can't even see them. Nice and stable. It's not going anywhere. We set her off with the camera on board, and away we went. The video came out pretty darn good. I have to admit that I'm really happy with the quality. And this is the view we get. I was going to take it out onto the bay, but I chickened out. The water was getting a little rough and the wind was blowing offshore. So this vessel had earlier in the trial runs thrown a servo arm on the rudder. And I didn't want to risk that happening again out on the open Chesapeake Bay. Here she comes into port. Nice and easy. We're going to have a lot more fun with this camera as time goes by, I'll guarantee you that.